50 mil history here. How's it all going? Um, I figure I was going to do a bit of an unboxing. I picked up a Flames of War box, and this is the last one they had at the bunker, which is like Flames of War's head office. It's cheaper than buying a lot of their stuff there than, say, buying it at Mighty Ape, which is kind of like New Zealand's version of Amazon. Um, they're really really good. You get this box, I think, is 160 at the bunker, and if you get it from Mighty Ape, it's about 230. So I've saved about $70 on this. So this is the 26th Volksgrenadier division. It's got quite a bit of stuff, and I have plans to upgrade it too, if you can call it that. So yeah, you get assault rifles, machine guns, 8 centimeter mortars, 12 centimeter mortars, 7.5s. You can take two of these in formation. 7.5 tank hunters. These are your pack 40s, and a scout platoon. Um, sorry. These are like, so you can play these guys in two kind of different ways. Um, they're pretty cheap. I mean, these guys are what, like 8 points. You can pay a bit extra and make these guys veteran. And they're not too bad veteran wise. I think this is probably a better place to look. So these are like the rifle platoons. They're aggressive, hit on threes, save on threes. They're reluctant, so these guys aren't going to be following me anytime soon. And they've got a last stand of 4+, which is like about average. They're trained 4+, which isn't terrible. No, they're quite average. Definitely. But their main advantage is that like a unit of them is 7 points, so they're pretty cheap. 7 for 7. You can add a machine gun for an extra point. Two Panzer Shreks for an additional two. So that's an additional. So a unit goes up to 10 points. Um, and they can spit out quite a bit of shooting. Halted rate of fire 6. Moving rate of fire 2. That's if they're pinned. But also, like, more importantly, they've got limited to Panzerfausts, which is nice. These guys, you can make them veteran, or you can make them not great, like these guys. Volksgrenadiers are an interesting bunch. At the time of Battle of the Bulge, these guys were they're kind of a weird mishmash of different stuff. They're made up of Volksgrenadier units are predominantly made up of soldiers that have been fighting maybe on the eastern or the western front. They've been injured and they're all right, but they're coalescing back to proper full health. They're put in a Volksgrenadier unit. If you are you're a Navy man and they don't have a ship for you because all the ships are gone, and they're not worried about the naval campaign anymore, you're going in the Volksgrenadiers. If you're like floating around like the Luftwaffe and you're a bit ancillary to Luftwaffe mains, you're going in the Volksgrenadiers. If you're super young, then you're going in the Volksgrenadiers. Not Hitler Youth, Hitlerjugend. You'll got probably like if you're a young adult past like 18, chances are you're going into the Volksgrenadiers. These guys tend to have higher ranking officers leading them, and maybe not higher ranking officers. They're guys with like more experience, and it wasn't uncommon, sadly, for like these guys at the Battle of the Bulge. That just Allied soldiers would target the officers because these guys were kind of just running around. They were kind of slapped together to a point. Um, They just target the officers, and when that happened, they just got obliterated. There's a really good podcast called "We Have Ways of Making You Talk," and they go into one of the problems of what they had with Volksgrenadiers is when they attacked. I think in one of the first waves of Battle of the Bulge, they sent Volksgrenadiers. It was like a meat wave, and yeah, they got obliterated. Artillery came along, they got whacked. You can, yeah, like I said before, you can run them veteran, or you can run them as what they currently are. If you run them as they currently are, they're quite a defensive force, and I'll get to some points around that too. So this is the command card it comes with. This is Siegfried Moldenauer. He's not bad. He hits on a 2, which is good. And he makes infantry roll on 3s, which is really good, particularly if you've got lots of... he makes a veteran, and he also helps your rallies, which is a 3. And Volksgrenadiers... Oh, sorry. They pin on a 5. So if they go down, they're not getting up and moving around. No, like, and also like they struggle to dig in too because they've got a 4 up. So you really, with Volksgrenadiers, you don't really want to be too cavalier in sending them up places because they won't be able to dig in. Or if you're playing in a map with lots of buildings, that's their kind of bread and butter. In Berlin, you can run these guys, and you can make them a naval division, from naval soldiers, and they're basically the same. They go up in price. I think they gain fearless, and I think they get more. I think their training is slightly better. I think, but they're still aggressive troops. But they've got much better morale, and they've got their own formation that you can build through that. I don't have the command cards for all of it, and I don't have the unit cards, but I've got the unit cards for this. This, I reckon, is one of the reasons why you want to play Volksgrenadiers. These things are extremely good. They don't look like much, but they're information artillery that saves on a 3, which is not bad. They're trained 4 up, so that's not too bad either. It's average. Sorry, training 4 up. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm just a bit tired. Trained 4 up is not bad. It's not perfect. It means that if there's things in terrain, it's going to be harder for you to range in. But the reason why you have these guys, I think, is their artillery with a 3 up save, which is amazing. That's really good and very uncommon. Most artillery have a 4 up. But down here, you can see here, anti-tank 9, 3 up firepower. So what these guys are really good at is holding a line behind. You put them behind your troops, and you can use these guys as defensive weapons. Because, like, if say something big and scary, by big and scary, like a medium tank, they don't want to fight these things. No. Anti-tank 9 can ruin someone's day in the side because when you go into close combat, that's where you hit. You hit on the side. And anti-tank 9 makes things a bit squiffy for anybody who's coming in. And then also, like, the other thing too is, like, you also get these. You get the 7.5 anti-tank platoon. So these guys are your standard Pack 40s. Anti-tank 12, which is like one of the best. I think these are probably one of the best anti-tank guns in the game. Anti-tank 12, 3 up firepower, forward firing, standard fare. Again, plonk these guys on an objective nearby, supporting Volksgrenadiers. These guys can lay on the pain. Anti-tank 12 is not a lot of fun. And on top of Volksgrenadiers, their main kind of where are we? I know they're in here. One of the main things that why you run Volksgrenadiers is a very simple reason in terms of what they're good at doing, most definitely, is I don't know where it's gone. It's probably gone somewhere. Is particularly with the assault platoons, assault rifles. The reason why they're so good is their main Volksgrenadier's main shtick is they don't get big units of stuff. 7 guys in a unit isn't a huge amount. One of the problems I think the Germans have is I was just looking for the card. I can't find it, but that's all right. One of the main problems the Germans have, particularly units like this, is they're only 7 in a unit, so that it doesn't take much to whittle them down. But one of the things that makes these guys so good is the fact that you've got 2 Panzerfausts in here, a 2 possible Panzerschrecks, a machine gun, and as well as an STG-44. So these guys, and these guys too, the rifles, they can dump out a huge amount of shooting. And if these guys here, the machine gun platoon, these guys are immense at just dumping out shots. So if you have an extra machine gun here, an extra machine gun here, that's 12 shots. There's 24 shots in there. So if everything isn't pinned, that's a grand total of 12, so that's 24, 24, 18, 8, no, sorry, 12, 6, 6, 24, 30, 36. That's 36 shots of pinning. And then you've also got these mortars, these bigger mortars. These are also have the ability to pin. So these guys will, like, if you play them defensively, they will absolutely ruin someone's day. I don't know how many points this army is. I haven't done the maths. I've coming up with list ideas at the moment. I'm probably going to run what's in here with Kampfgruppe Swoboda's 88s. So that makes their 88s go from 12 points for 4 to 8 points for 4, and they also gain artillery. So they're a 4-ups. That's even more pinning potential that your army could possibly have. So that's really good. These are the figures. This is the pack 40 box. I'm not going to take them out. I think maybe I will later on. I don't know. But that's the figures there. They're not bad. They're metal, unfortunately, or fortunately. But the thing is that they're chunky. So it doesn't really, like, the thing is plastic's always better. But you can't go wrong with, these metal figures aren't bad. Metal, I think, works if the figure is slightly chunkier, I think. And these guys are wearing great coats. So you can't go wrong with painting them up and getting them and using them instead. You could also, like, even though these are Volksgrenadiers, you can still probably use them for other things, like tank escorts. Definitely. These, unfortunately, are only available in Bulge. You cannot get these anywhere else, I don't think. So you can take 2 of these in a formation, and you can take one of these. These things here are both compulsory, but you can take another unit of these for extra. The Volksgrenadier Scouts are good if you're playing like a slightly more more offensive game, if you want to make these guys veterans and just send them up the board. The reason why I'm going to probably run them, and if I was going to play defensively, is in terms of the games, in terms of playing defense, you can buy it's in the command cards. they've got a Hetzer formation, a Volks Hetzer formation. Hetzers for Volksgrenadiers are quite nasty. It complements them quite well if you're playing a defensive style of game. Hetzer's a front armor 7, which is quite a bit for a little itty bitty boyo with an anti tank 11 or 12 gun. I think it's anti tank 11. So you can tie up a lot of things with Hetzers. They don't have a lot of. They're not maneuverable because they're an assault gun. They're overworked. So once they kind of get down, they don't want to be moving around an awful lot. But if they're plonked down in the right place at the right time, they could be quite nasty. They're 10 points, I think, per model. I think, no, sorry, they're not 10 points per model. I think a unit of 4 is 10 points, roughly. And I think they're trained, hit on 3's aggressive. So they're not like super duper like reliable. But the reason why these guys are so important is because they're 8 points. And that sounds like, why is that a big deal? Well, if that formation is 33, that puts you at 41 points. And that will give you'll be able to have the HQ hits are on the board. If you hide them away, it won't be a problem. Might be a bit of an issue because you will have a high number of reserves. But as one of my friends said, it's probably, if you come into the game, like one of the things I've learned about Flames of War is that sometimes it's best to come with a pre-planned list. Pre-plan your reserves. Know exactly what reserves you need to come out at certain times. The more you can control that, the happier you'll be. Because there's nothing worse playing a game and you don't know what's going where, you don't know what you have, you know what you have, but you've just started playing, it's not all prior sorted, so now you have to figure out what do you have to take out for your strategy. And it's better to know that before you get in so that you've got fewer variables that are working against you. That's what I would do. The other thing as well, it comes with these. Comes with more. Oh, that's the. I don't know what these guys are. They all kind of look the same. They're basically all the same kit anyway. Let's have a look. Those are mortars. Those are the big mortars, I think. I have to say though that comes. Here we go. So you get these funky dice, these yellow and black dice. These aren't actually my favorite Volksgrenadier unit. I don't know which one it is. That's my favorite, but they've got they're like a V with a sword sticking through them. You get these. These are really cool. These are really nice. And then finally, you get these. So this here is a EZ8, and I think that there is a Panther objective markers that have been destroyed and have been wrecked and are just kind of chilling. This is not a bad box. Would I recommend you getting this box? If you want to play Volksgrenadiers, I would say yes. If you're interested in playing Germans, I would not like. I would if you want to play Germans. I think that this is probably not a good place to go. I think it's a good box, but I think you'll probably be better off learning greater mechanics of the game than you'd be probably better off, say, buying the Bagration box, Bagration and one of the D-Day boxes. They're probably a better place to learn how to play Germans. This, I think, has got a bit of a learning curve, and even I've been playing Flames for a while, and I'm no expert in playing these guys, but they are a lot of fun. They've got an interesting history. It's if you're ever interested, we have ways of making your talk. Did like an 8-part series on the Battle of the Bulge. There's a lot of interesting media around it. I'm reading a really good book at the moment called Hitler's Winter War. I can't remember who wrote it, unfortunately, but it's a very, very well written book that's quite easy and breezy to read. It's very like a kind of conversational kind of history that is got plenty of character and it flows really well. It's not super dry. It's really, really good. Yeah, I think that this is like, I don't know if this is a great box to start, but it's a great box to add to. It's got a lot of things in here that are not easy to get. Like having four of these straight from the get go is very difficult to get. These aren't common. You can get them, but they come in a unit of two. And to have a unit of four straight from the get go, I think is a massive bonus for the starter set. And yeah, oh, six mortars. I just realized that. Yeah, that's pretty good. So these guys will be able to get re-rolls, which is really nice. Is this? I don't know how many points this is, but if I was to fill this out some more, yeah, I would definitely say get some hetzers. I think having some armor, getting some heavier anti-tank guns, I think will be pretty good. But overall, yeah, I think this is a good box. I don't know how easy it would be for people to learn from. There's a lot of metal in here. If that's what you want to do, then sure. I think yeah, like I said before, you'd probably be better off learning about picking up one of the bulge boxes. But yeah, I will give you guys an update. I've got some paints and stuff ready for them, some wet ground from AK Interactive and snow and some balls like microsol balls or whatever they're called for like snow. And I got some rocks and a few other things as well. I'm going to try and make these guys look as sexy as possible in terms of their basing is what I really, really want to do. But yeah, I think overall, yeah, I think this is a good box, and I would recommend it. But I think this is probably a later down the line box, rather than like a first purchase box. Unless you've been playing the game for a while and you're looking to get back in, I would say, yeah, this is a because like it's a bit fiddly. But overall, yeah, just wanted to say, yeah, hopefully, you guys are staying safe out there, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, cheers, bye, guys.